Let's do this. What's up, everybody? I'm Coach Todd. I'm Coach Cole. Brooklyn's hanging out in the back over there. Welcome.
No, leave it. Keep going. Keep going.
Welcome back to another outfit workout. We're here in New York City. We're going to be embarking on about a 40-minute workout. That workout is going to need one piece of equipment. So you're either going to use a dumbbell or you're going to use a kettlebell. Coach Cole's going to be using a dumbbell. I'm going to be using a kettlebell. The conditioning has a little bit more of a technical movement for kettlebells than dumbbells. So if you're not super proficient in the kettlebell, you might want to stick with the dumbbell for today's workout though. We're going to be hopping in just one moment. I do want to say though, two quick things. We upload new workouts every week, so if you like what you're seeing, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Particularly subscribe if you want to get notifications when new workouts go up. And then the last thing is, you're going to notice that both Coach Cole and myself are not wearing masks and we're working out indoors. We are only doing it for the purpose of this video. Anytime that we're indoors, working out or not, both of us are wearing masks, and you should be as well. We are in the middle of a pandemic. Everybody needs to do their part to keep everybody else safe. This is a team sport. So with that being said, we're going to hop into the warm-up, and Coach Cole is going to get us started.
All right, crew, we're going to start out with some jumping jacks today. Let's hit a quick 30, feet out, feet in, hands overhead, a little bit of bouncing, down to 30. Once you hit 30, we're going to hit some front side back lunges, all right? Pretty simple. We're going to take a nice big step forward. Back knee's going to hit the floor. We step back up to the middle. I want that same leg to step out to the side. Nice flat foot. Just reach down a little bit. Stepping back in the middle. And that same leg is going to step behind. Cool. So our right leg steps front to the side and then behind. That was one. Let's get 4 each leg. So front lunge, side lunge, back lunge. Still on that right leg. Whoa, a little bit of cracking.
Ooh, old man knees.
My knees cracked too.
Oh, that was yours?
Once you get 4 times on the right, switch legs. 4 times on that left leg. Front, side, and behind. Once you finish those 8 lunges, I want us to go hands on the floor. We're going to walk it out to a nice high plank. Once we get here, we're going to drop the hips down, lay the legs on the ground. We'll keep our hands pressing up though. Nice quick stretch through those abs. Just take a few big breaths. And twist right and left a little bit if you would like. Just to stretch out those obliques. And let's pick ourselves back up to that nice high plank position. We'll hit 1 push-up from our feet or our knees. Chest to the floor, back up. Walk the hands into the feet. Roll it up, that's 1. Let's do 5 more, guys. 6 inchworms total. Stand up every single rep. Just let that lower back roll around. That's the only reason. And stand up each time for me. Make sure to keep those elbows relatively close to my push-ups. No chicken wing push-ups, please, today, or any other day for that matter. Oh, 1 more. Take a quick breath. Got a couple more things coming. I want us to put our hands behind our head really quick. Cool, just like this, like we're relaxing on the beach. We're going to soften our knees. We're going to keep our chest nice and tall. We're going to send our butt back. There's some good mornings here. Rest with the body weight. Looking to find about 90 degrees, maybe a little less for some of us. Let's get a quick 10 in. Notice once my knees bend, only movement that's happening is my hips are going back. I'm not bending more down here into a little squat thing. Shins are staying relatively vertical. And those fingers, they're locked right behind the head. I did not count these. 2 more. Then we're gonna stand back up. We're gonna go right where we started, another 30 jumping jacks, and we'll rest it out. A little more breathing. And once you get that 30 in, if you need to go grab your dumbbell or kettlebell, you have like 30, 45 seconds to get that done. Grab a drink of water. Once you get back, Todd will take it away for the day. We'll talk about our strength. We're gonna get rocking.
That's right, I am. Any plans this weekend?
This coming weekend?
Yeah. Not yet.
Not really. I do want to go buy like another little piece of furniture for my apartment. I need like a shorter table.
Shorter table. Where are you gonna go get? Where are you gonna go look?
I don't know.
Huh. Shorter table.
I'd love to go to Restoration Hardware, but
Too expensive. Not in the city.
way too expensive.
Way too expensive. All right, that's your time. That's your rest. Or that's your time to get your equipment. If you have a table, you want to send Nicole, send them a message. How big is it gonna be?
I want it to be shorter, so like knee height, but like just any small table size will do. Not super.
Sounds easy. Sounds easy. So for these workouts, this is actually gonna be the first time that we're doing this movement, the Romanian deadlift. If you're in your home or whatever configuration you're doing and you're able to set up where you can see your reflection, particularly if you're not used to this movement, that might be helpful. The reason for that is just like we were doing in the warm-up, we were doing good mornings, which involved a soft bend in the knees, feet are under your hips, and then you're just gonna push your hips back, push your hips back, push your hips back. So I'm only gonna go as low as I can where a couple things are maintained. First thing first is that I keep a neutral back. So I don't wanna have a rounding through the back so I can get lower. Nice tight stomach is gonna help prevent that. So I squeeze my core, hips go back, hips go back. We're all gonna have different depths that we can go to based on our hamstring mobility, the back of our legs here. So that's how you're gonna know when you've hit your end range of motion, because you're gonna feel a lot of tension in the back of your legs, okay? So once we get to that position, do that good morning, back's nice and neutral, shins are vertical, I feel some tension in the back of my legs. Then from here, we don't even need any equipment first. I just want you to take one hand and think about pulling your thumb up to your chest. Elbow stays by your side, thumb comes up to your chest, and then extending all the way down. Elbow comes close, thumb comes up, and then extending down. So this is gonna be the row that we do after we do the deadlift. So we have a complex coming up. It's gonna involve doing 8 Romanian deadlifts. So that's me hinging back, 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 vertical shins, neutral back, squeeze my glutes to stand up. I'm gonna do 8 of these. And then after that, in the remainder of the time, I'm gonna be doing rows. I'm gonna think about pulling my thumb to my chest, elbow close, extending, thumb comes up, and then extending, thumb comes up, and then extending. Let's actually practice that on the other side. So you're gonna turn around, feet are under your hips, soft bend in the knees, hips back, hips back, hips back. I got vertical shins, tension in the back of the legs, neutral back. From here, I have a few deadlifts. And then after I get done with those 8 deadlifts, I'm gonna do some rows, bent over rows, for the remainder of the time, okay? So those two movements as a combo is what we're gonna be doing mostly. And then we're gonna be adding in a hollow hold after we get through those. So Coach School's gonna set up here just to demonstrate this hollow hold. We've done these a few times. So first things first, most of you are gonna wanna probably do it the way he's doing it right now. Legs are straight, so he's flexing his quads, toes are pointed away, lower back is in contact with the ground, that's the most important part, and then he's reaching those arms forward. So this is gonna be the one that we recommend. We're gonna hold this position for 30 seconds, and then you're gonna go ahead and relax, and then we're gonna have some rest. So let's talk about this. We got 10 minutes coming up. Thank you, Cole. We have 10 minutes coming up, 30-second chunks. First 30 seconds, we're gonna do 8 Romanian deadlifts, and then bent over rows for the remainder of the time. Next 30 seconds, switching sides, 8 Romanian deadlifts, bent over rows for the remainder of the time. Next 30 seconds of that hollow hold that Coach Cole was just doing there. And then the last 30 seconds is going to be our rest station. So we're going to work for 90 seconds and then rest for 30 seconds. And we're going to do that for 5 rounds. Thank you. So grab your weight, get set up. Again, if you need to kind of configure yourself a little bit, just so you can keep an eye on yourself as you're doing this movement. The biggest thing that's going to happen is that athletes are going to set up like this. And if I was in person, I would say flatten out your back. And the athlete would say, I have a flat back. And it's not because they're not trying. It's just because they don't have the awareness to know what this feels like versus what this feels like. So that's the only reason that I'm recommending it if you're not super proficient in the movement. We're going to be going in the 30 seconds. So again, first 30 seconds, I have 8 deadlifts on one side. After that 8th one, rows for the remainder of the 30 seconds until we tell you to switch, and then we'll do it on the other side. I'm going to start with my left side. My left side is my weakest, so I like to start with that side because if I can get through that side, then I know the other side shouldn't be an issue. We're going in 5 seconds. So we have our deadlifts in 3, 2, 1, 8 deadlifts. Don't feel like you gotta rush these. Feel the movement if you're not super familiar with it. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 8 for me, and then I got rows. Think about pulling that thumb up as high as possible, and think about keeping that chest to the side. Sorry, elbows to the side. All right, and now we're gonna switch. We're on to the other side. We got our 8 deadlifts. Again, should be thinking about just hips back. Just hips back. Keeping those shins vertical, keeping that back neutral. And then from there, I have bent over rows for the remainder of the time. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds of this hollow hold. This is actually a tuck hollow that we're doing. So, what did I say the most important detail was?
Lower back flat.
I just heard it through the internet. It's great. Keeping your lower back flat on the ground. So that's your first priority. If keeping your legs straight is too challenging and you start to experience this arching, what you can start to do is pull one leg in and then just alternate which leg is in. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's your first round. So we got 1 round in, we got 4 rounds to go, 90 seconds of work, and then 30 seconds of rest. If you were counting how many rows that you got the first time through, first of all, good for you. Second of all, try to hold that number. So try to not let that number decrease round over round, 10 seconds, but try to see if you can keep it constant, or now that you got the hang of it, maybe you can add a couple. 3, 2, 1. So going back to those deadlifts, as you're going through this movement, some athletes, it's helpful from a standing position to think about there's a wall behind you and you're trying to touch your butt to that wall behind you. It may even be the case if you did have a wall behind you where you could try to touch your butt to that wall and come up, but sometimes just that visual in the mind is enough for people. So we're going to be switching in 5, 3, 2, 1, into the deadlifts. Remember, we're doing 8. Done with that 8th one, heading into those rows, bent over rows. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, into that hollow. So again, if you weren't able to keep that lower back flat on the ground, keep one leg in, every couple seconds switch. Every couple seconds switch. A lot of us should be able to maintain this. If this still is too challenging, you can think about having a 90-degree angle in the back of your legs. Toes are pointed away. Lower back, again, highest priority. Arms forward. 3, 2, 1. Good, all right, 2 rounds in. Ready to go. There's a good chance you'll feel this tomorrow. There's a good chance you're gonna feel this. Even though your back is not moving, you're doing a lot of work to hold it in place, and that alone can cause soreness. So if you feel like you're sore in the back tomorrow, that is not necessarily a sign of poor movement. Okay, we're back to it. It could be, but not necessarily. 8 deadlifts. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1. Just switch the sides back into those deadlifts.
Something I like to think about when I'm doing my RDLs, especially because I know it's something I'm a little lazy about, is I want to make sure I'm feeling my hamstrings stretch as I send my hips back. If I'm not, if we find ourselves all the way bent over at the bottom, we're not feeling a stretch back here, it probably means our knees are a little bit too bent and out front, all right? Try to keep those knees bowed over the toes. If you pull them back a little bit, you should feel those hamstrings stretch out, turn on, and make a little bit sore tomorrow. 3, 2, on the floor. Just squeeze. Don't forget to breathe when we're down here. Please don't hold your breath. Don't get all purple. Need some air.
Very nice, halfway through. We got 10 seconds. 3, 2. All right. What is it, 3 rounds now?
3 down.
All right,
There you go.
Good. I know a lot of new athletes find the Romanian deadlift and good morning very weird. It's a very weird motion for some people. It's just that feeling of pushing your butt out behind you, out behind you, out behind you. 3, 2, 1. A lot of good value though, a lot of good value how to learning how to hinge at the hip though. So this is a good workout today. It's messed it up. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Back to those deadlifts on the side.
Feel those hamstrings stretch out. If you're not feeling any stretch back there, you probably can reach back a little bit more. Keep those knees a little bit taller.
Ten seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. All right, here we go. Again, thinking about taking that belly button and can you pull it down closer to the ground to help keep that back nice and flat on the ground. Halfway. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. All right, we got one more round. One more round. We'll take a break. We'll talk about the conditioning. It's a fun one today.
EMOMs. I love EMOMs. So we're doing an EMOM today. Spoiler alert.
15 seconds. Last round coming up. 10 seconds. Going back to our deadlifts in 5, 3, 2, 1. All right, last time. 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds, let's go. Last time you're doing the bent over rows on this side. Try to see if you can eke out a couple more. 3, 2, 1. Switching sides, deadlifts. 8. Here we go, last time through, last time through. You got just about 15 seconds. Let's bang out some rows here. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Last time. Tuck hollow.
Right on the floor. One last thing here, especially for this last hold, if you're getting a little bit tired, really keep that back flat against the floor. If you feel your back start to arch up, pull a knee in, or just take a second to breathe quick so you can get into position. I don't really want us to be doing this with an arched back. We're just not training a great position for our bodies, so we want us to keep a strong position throughout the hold, whatever allows us to do that. You got 3 seconds. Hang in there, Todd. 2, 1, and good. 5 rounds, just like that.
Nice job. 10 minutes in, grab a drink, take a second. We're at a minute, maybe 2, until we get going into our conditioning part. We got 3 movements for that we're gonna talk about in just a couple minutes here. Give yourself a minute or 2 though. How are you? You all right? So tired.
Do you have any complaints?
We have a bunch of outfit workouts on Saturday in Queens, Queens, New York.
Oh, I have to work on Saturday. I have Saturday.
You have to coach?
Yeah, forgot about that.
Coach every Saturday or now?
Not usually, so
Just this Saturday.
don't forget. Do you? No, go ahead.
I'm sure everyone would love to know our coaching schedules.
It's not important.
Okay, so we have 3 movements coming up. The first one's gonna be a clean and jerk combination. Clean is when we get our dumbbell or our kettlebell, we have a swing, we're gonna get it to our front rack. So we got the dumbbell, head's on our shoulder, we got the kettlebell, my thumb's right about by my side. So that's gonna be our clean. And then for the jerk, there's a dip drive and then a re-dip. So if Coach Cole does it and just stays in his landing position, dip, drive, and you can see he dipped down under it and caught it in this landing position, and you can stand up. Do a couple just like clean jerk combos. Do like 3 to 5. Clean, jerk. Clean, jerk. Let's do one more. Clean, jerk. Go ahead and relax. With the kettlebell, I got my clean, jerk. Clean, jerk. One more time. Clean, jerk. So there's a dip, there's a drive, and then you drop down under the weight and catch it with locked out arms. It's a little more technical. So if you want to make today's movement a clean push press, again, a clean push press. The difference between the push press and the push jerk, push press, I dip, I drive, and I finish with pressing out. Push jerk, I dip, I drive, and then I finish by re-dipping under it. So I don't actually ever have to press it out. I'm just using my lower body twice to pop it up, catch it with straight arms, stand it up again. A little more technical. So you can either do the clean and jerk or the clean and push press, but we're gonna do 7 on one side, immediately switch, 7 on the other side. Next minute, we got 25 air squats. Air squat setup. Feet are shoulder width. Toes are gonna be turned out slightly, 15, 20 degrees. He's gonna initiate the movement by sending his hips back and down, and then stand up all the way. Focusing on keeping the core tight. That core we were just focusing on the ground the entire time. So we'll do 25 air squats. Last one's gonna be sit-ups. So we like to butterfly our sit-ups. That's just gonna mean that the bottom of your soles are touching each other. Coach Cole's gonna lay back. He's gonna touch the ground overhead, and he's gonna sit up and maybe touch his feet, maybe right in front. But trying to get his shoulders in front of his hips. Give us a 3 where your shoulders don't come in front of the hips. So here they're not gonna come in front of the hips. 2, 3. On the 4th one, he's gonna come all the way forward. And you can see the difference there. Okay, so we are on an EMOM every minute on the minute. Minute 1, you have 7 clean and jerks per side. Minute 2, you have 25 air squats. Minute 3, you have 18 sit-ups. So, as you go through, if the movements that are assigned, the work that's assigned only takes you 45 seconds, then you get 15 minutes
of rest.
Woo, take a nap and then do something else. You have 15 seconds of rest. The faster you work in the minute, the more rest you get until the next minute starts. We're doing this for 6 rounds or 18 minutes total. As I'm saying that, I feel like that might not be clear. It popped up right there, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it should be right there behind me. Just follow us along. After you get through the first 3 minutes, it's gonna be smooth sailing from there. So we're gonna start in 30 seconds. That's gonna be 7 per side of clean and jerks. Once you get done with it, wait for us to tell you to switch to go into the air squats. So hopefully you get a little bit of rest. Let me sit down here.
All right, 5 seconds, 7 per side, clean and jerks. 3, 2, 1. Just pick an arm to start. Hang on for 7. Make sure to switch. Good, crew. About 20 seconds till that next minute. You have whatever time to rest before it starts. 25 air squats, up and down. Try to stay breathing. Probably not resting during those 25. Going in 5. 3, 2, and here we go.
So for these air squats, let's make them good air squats. That means you get full depth. You get your hips down below the knees there, and you stand up all the way. As athletes start to tire or move quickly, nice air squats like these actually turn into this, which is not an air squat at all, but it's a good morning if you were paying attention to our warm-up. So don't change it to a good morning, chest stays up the whole time. Chest stays up, all the way down, all the way up. Ideally, there's no hinging happening.
20 seconds. Four, 3, 2, and reach all the way through those toes. 18 is the magic number. Again, probably not resting during this movement. Breathe throughout. If you're like me, you move slowly back every time you sit up. Let me move off screen. I'll be back, I promise.
What do you think, Brooklyn? You're watching Barry. Is there? All right. Woo.
15.
10 seconds, we're going back to it.
6 rounds total. That was 1. That's 6 total. 18 minutes. 5, 4, 3. Pick an arm to start. And we're in. 7 plus 7.
So you're 30 seconds in, 30 seconds to go. Again, if you're struggling with this dip, drive, and re-dip, you could just go straight to that push press. A little more upper body, a little more shoulder than the push jerk. But we haven't done that much shoulder today, so you should be okay. 15 seconds, and we're heading into our air squats. 10 seconds. Again, tight, tight, tight core. 3, 2, 1, here we go. There we go, 30 seconds. 30 seconds in, 30 seconds to go. Sit-ups are next.
Todd and I are doing air squats pretty fast, also synchro, not on purpose, but just happens. I would rather you do air squats at a pace you can hold steady for 25, and do like 15 fast, rest for 10, and another 10 fast. Cool? So whatever your 25 rep pace is, probably where I want us to be today. We got 10 seconds on the floor.
Unless someone's right next to you and you're trying to beat them. I'm not saying that's happening. 2, 1. Here we go. The last virtual workout where we did sit-ups.
What happened?
I got the, what's that?
Did you beat me?
No. I got in the shower that night, forgetting how many sit-ups we had done.
That never happens to me.
Never.
No, except I do this thing where I inch backwards every single time.
I also.
So I inch from right across the 30 seconds in. Should do 100-meter sit-ups. See how fast you can get 100 meters. That would be so painful.
That would be painful. That would also be an amazing video.
Yeah, it really would.
100-meter race doing sit-ups.
We gotta go backwards. We gotta get behind. 10 seconds. Round 3 already.
36.
4, 3, 2. Here we go. You can start on whichever side you want. That doesn't really matter. I'm gonna switch it up. Keep myself moving.
All right, 30-second mark.
Did you do 7 and 7 that fast?
No, I just did
Oh my
7.
god. Okay.
Last round I did 7 on my left.
Talk about beating me.
This round I thought I would do 7 on my right. I wanted to explain.
I'm doing all the reps.
How about that?
10 seconds. Air squat.
We actually never explained what we were talking about when it came to sit-ups.
Huh?
We never explained what happens. Here we go. 25 air squats. So what we were just talking about if you do a lot of sit-ups, particularly if you're doing them quickly, or you slide around a lot when you're doing them, sometimes you get a little rubber in your lower back right above your butt there, which you might not even notice until you get into the shower, and then you turn around, and then when the water hits it, you have a reminder that you did a bunch of sit-ups that day. So hopefully you don't experience that, but if you do, you're in good company.
What happens to most people, if you're like me and evolutionarily you don't have a tailbone for some reason, it doesn't happen to you.
Does that mean you're more evolved? Less evolved?
It means I'm less of a fish, I think. Is it a good or a bad thing? 5 seconds. 2, 1. Check that we're reaching for our toes here, at least making sure those shoulders are passing the hip crease. No quarter or 2/3 or 3/4 sit-ups today. Full sit-ups all the way over. Thank yourself for earning a full range of motion.
So I must have had my Wheaties today, because I'm feeling pretty good. If though you are in the air squats, or if you're in the sit-ups, and you're not getting through all of them, clean and jerk's coming back up. Here we go. Back to the clean and jerks. If you're not getting through all of the air squats, if you're not getting through all the sit-ups, that's okay. Work for the full minute. Once we switch, just go ahead and switch with us. Just try to see how much work you can do during that time. Hey, can you sit, please? Thank you. And again, remember, if it needs to be, where you're just doing that dip, opening up the legs and hips, drive, and then a press through the shoulder. That's a fine scaling option for the push-jerk.
In around 4, right on time. Keep on moving. Get your reps done. If you hung out with those reps 3 rounds, you can do another 3. Hang in. 10 seconds. 3, 2, and we are squatting.
On these air squats, feet stay flat on the ground. It's easy to, as you're trying to move quickly, come a little bit forward and letting those heels come off the ground. You want to make sure that the whole foot stays flat on the ground, all the way down and then all the way up. Halfway, 30 seconds. Again, you're trying to keep your chest vertical as much as possible.
Finish those air squats. You can sit down. I'm going to sit down. Put my rest right here.
Less than 10 seconds. Back in 5, 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good. Try to keep moving on these. They don't have to be the same speed that we're going, but try to be trying to move for most of the minute. You gotta take little breaks. Maybe even if you start to feel little cramps, it's very possible if you're not used to doing a lot of sit-ups, if you haven't had a lot of water today. So if you need to take a break because of that, totally makes sense. But otherwise, just see if you can keep moving, even if you don't get all the reps, for most of the 60 seconds. 10 seconds.
2 more rounds. Right there. Best 2 of the day. Turn it up a little bit. 4, 3, 2. That dumbbell.
Yes, Brooklyn.
Let's cheer us on a little bit.
That's right. The reason I was saying earlier, the conditioning had a little more technical movement for a kettlebell than the dumbbell, because when you're doing your clean, kettlebell's hanging, but it finishes laying on the back of your wrist in this front rack position. So that means every time it's going to rotate from a swing to flipping over and laying on the back of your wrist. And if it's newer to you, you may get a lot more of a flopping happening, and so rep after rep of that smacking can really irritate. We're back in 5, 3, 2, 1, air squats. That smacking on the wrist every rep can really start to irritate. Over time, you'll learn what's just known as hand insertion. You'll learn the timing about how to push your hand fully through in that the kettlebell rests from your thumb down to the base of your wrist. And so you push your hand through and you get the timing right and it kind of slides into place instead of flops into place. But it takes a little bit of time, a little bit of practice, maybe a little bit of coaching and instruction. One of the many reasons we offer 2 options, the dumbbell and the kettlebell. "15 seconds into sit-ups.
If you get a little tired of those sit-ups, try and take a quick breath, bring the pace down a little bit, but try not to rest anywhere. Slow and steady wins the race. Get those 18 in. 4, 3, 2. Here we go. I think it would take you a while to 100 meters.
Visually, I'm not, what's 100 meters here, you think? I feel like...
Probably 4-ish times. 4.
What is it?
I would say about 4.
4?
1, 2, 3.
4. I would have no skin left. No skin or muscle under it, which would be bone. But if the prize was right, it would be worth it. 15 seconds.
You're going to come in first. One more round. 10 seconds. Last one. Hang on to those numbers for me. No reason not to now.
Last one for round.
We get to go now. 4, 3, 2. Let's go. Moving and grooving.
Here we go, last time. Last 3 minutes of work, let's finish this nice and strong.
Get that dumbbell moving, finish it up. Squats are coming. 25. No more, no less. Three, 2, up and down.
Here we go. So our last minute of air squats. If you haven't been getting 25, let's try and see if we can get more in the last round. You got just over 90 seconds of total work left. Let's finish this nice and strong. Come on. Here we go. 20 seconds and we're going to do our sit-ups.
Find the floor. You can pace this time, just going. 18 done. Fastest weekend for today. Push up nice and strong. That's right, Brooklyn.
Brooklyn's ready for the weekend. I bet you are too. We're going in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Up and back.
This time through.
Play through that core group a little bit if we're feeling it. Maybe a few more. Find that number.
You got 30 seconds. 8 more. Yep. Come on. 20 seconds. All right, less than 15. 10 seconds and you're all done.
Get those reps out.
Let's go. Let's go. Last 5 seconds.
Time to do it. 3, 2, 1. And we are done. It's free. You are free.
Nice job, everybody. Nice job. I hope that kicks off your Friday or gets you through your Friday a little better, ready for the weekend. We have new workouts that are uploaded every week. So if you like this video, you got this far, you must have liked it. Go ahead and like and subscribe. If you want, you can leave us a fun comment. Otherwise, though, I'm Coach Todd.
I'm Coach Cole.
And this is Brooklyn. And we're going to see you next time. Have a great weekend. Hello. You're such a good girl. Yes, you were such a good girl. Good job. Good job, Brooklyn. Hello.
So happy.
Hello.